bugs telling the story. Most of our big bugs are gone with the gymnastics trip or at the Pathfinder Sabbath. So this Sabbath, we have our very youngest bugs telling the story. And they're going to do a great job and show you that no matter how small you are, you can still serve Jesus. So I'm going to turn it over to the bugs.
International Children's Bible. Then Jesus used stories to teach them many things. He said, a farmer went out to plant his seeds. I don't mean to point out the obvious, but that's not a key. And, excuse me, girls can be farmers, doctors, presidents, and directors. Sorry, just saying. A farmer went out to plant his seeds. While he was planting, some fell by the road. And the birds came and ate all the seeds. Could you birds be a little noisier? I don't think any of these kids heard you. May we continue? Yes, please continue. Don't mind me. Right. Some seeds fell on rocky ground where there wasn't enough dirt. Those seeds grew very fast because the ground was not deep. But when the sun rose, the plants dried up because they did not have deep roots. Ew! Some other seeds fell among thorny leaves. The weeds grew and choked the good plants. I don't think any of these kids should be watching this. Those birds are scary. I'm trying to tell a story here. Sorry. Some other seeds fell on good ground, where they grew and became great. Some plants made 100 times more grain. Other plants made 60 times more grain. And some made 30 times more grain. Let those with ears use them and listen. What are you doing? Just seeing if we have ears. Why? Well, because that was a real interesting little presentation with the creepy birds and scary thorns, but I didn't really understand what it all means. And I don't think any of these kids don't either, except maybe that one. He looks smarter, and so we thought because of what you said at the end, we didn't have ears. Jesus told stories because he wanted the people to understand complicated things in a simple way. He often discovered that people are dense, and he would have to explain his stories. In fact, when the disciples asked him why he told stories, he said, "Some will listen and listen, but will not understand. Some will look and look, but will not learn. But you are blessed. You understand the things you see with your eyes, and you understand the things you hear with your ears." Whew, that's good, because I was starting to get worried. glad our eyes see and our ears hear. Yeah, I'm not sure if that it's the ears that are your problem, but I'm here to tell stories because Jesus told stories. So if the kids would like, I'll give you the explanation that Jesus gave. Would you like to see the story again with the explanation that Jesus gave? Yes! Fine, but can we do it without interruptions? It'll be hard, but we'll try. It will be hard though. Verse 18. So listen to the meaning of the story about the farmer. The seeds that fell by the road is like the person who hears the teaching about the kingdom but does not understand it. The evil one comes and takes away the things that were planted in the person's heart. The seeds that fell on rocky ground is like the person who hears the teaching and quickly accepts it with joy. But he does not let the teaching go deep into his life. He keeps it only for a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the teaching and he accepts, then quickly gives up. The seeds that fell among the thorny weeds is like the person who hears the teaching but lets worries about his life and love of money stop that teaching from growing. So the teaching does not produce fruit in that person's life. But the seeds that fell on good ground is like the person who hears the teaching and understands it. That person grows and produces fruit, sometimes 100 times more, sometimes 60 times more, and sometimes 30 times more.
That was great, just great. So hard not to interrupt though.
And we've got tons and tons of questions. Naturally we do. So I think you should ask all your questions to the very ones who demonstrated our story. Hey, creepy birds! Ow, we can't answer questions. Hey! Boys and girls, you have been great listeners. But before you go, I want you to remember this. Each of you will hear the stories about Jesus and how much he loves you. You can choose to be like any of the seeds that were talked about today. But I really hope you choose to be like the seeds that are in good ground. Because if you do, all of you can turn into enough people to fill this whole church. And if we all do that, Jesus will come really, really soon. You can go back to your seats.